What is going on, comic book community? Welcome back to an episode of Josh's Comics. Today, we're talking underrated DC keys, so stay tuned for this next episode of Josh's Comics. Welcome back, guys. That's right, we're talking about underrated DC keys. A video that I've been looking forward to doing. You know me, you know my love for DC. I can say yes, there is some Batman in this pile. You already saw that from the thumbnail. But in my honest opinion, and I'm going to do one for Marvel too eventually, but DC has a lot of underrated keys and keys that people often overlook. And honestly, some of these books, if not most of these books that I'm going to show off today, can be found in the dollar bins. And surprisingly, nobody really knows about some of these. Some of these are and like I said, not underrated, undervalued. But let's start off. This book, I'm surprised, is not worth more. Justice League of America from Volume 1, number 161. Now, this book is key significance. It's Zatanna joins the Justice League of America, and it's also the debut of her new costume. One that would pretty much go away, and her original costume would return eventually with the hat and look like a magician. But still, a very underrated key in my opinion. She joins the Justice League. Could we see it happen in the DCU eventually? I think it's a good, strong possibility, maybe. But again, an undervalued key and underrated, in my opinion. Moving on, we have another underrated key. Batman issue number 457. It is the debut of Tim Drake's new Robin costume. What's funny about this book is there is actually a 000 variant, if I'm not mistaken it is, or maybe it's 004, but it's a variant that tends to be a little bit more, a few more dollars if not, but there is a high grade like newsstand copy that if you can find it in the dollar bins, that thing is pricey. But another great cover, first of all, and nice little key significance. Again, a dollar bin book, you can find it all the time in there. So there you go for some Batman love. More Batman love, of course. And I actually messed this book up. I've been calling this Batman issue number 499 on some of my recent videos. I was wrong. I picked up the wrong book. Off by 100 issues in the wrong title. Detective Comics issue number 599. Great cover. And it's actually the first appearance of Henry Ducard, who is a mentor to Bruce Wayne and a detective. And the interesting thing about this key is Henry Ducard was actually Liam Nelson's cover for his character, who ended up being Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins. Shout out to James Manhunter Comics and also 360 Comics, who have brought it to my attention about this key. Another dollar book, you can find this all the time in the dollar books or dollar bins. And the highest it goes for is like maybe $5. That's just talking raw, no slab prices. But at the same time, an underrated, undervalued key. And I don't know what it is with DC. And it's a Batman book. So, moving on, another Batman Detective Comics. This is I'd say a bit of a pricier key. You can find it in the dollar bin still if you look for it. But most shops now have it out. Batman Detective Comics issue number 850. Great cover. And this is actually the first unofficial Gotham City Sirens team up of Harley, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy. Gotham City Sirens would go on, in my opinion, to be a very cool stable. I loved it. If I'm not mistaken, yep, by Paul Dini. I had the Paul Dini Omniverse on my shelf behind me. I love the story. He made a Gotham City Sirens run that I want to pick up one day myself. I think it's a great cover, a great story, great team up. And like I said, this is the first unofficial appearance, but this book tends to actually sell for quite a bit of money. I think we had a Gotham City Sirens project in the works at one point. We'll have to see if it goes forward. Now that the writer strike's over, we're starting to get some information on characters, casting, and writers getting back to movies, so we'll have to see. But I think it's another, first of all, great cover, great story, great couple, unofficial team-up appearance, but very underrated key. Moving on, this book has been very underrated until the last few years. Legends issue number 1, and this is actually the first appearance of Amanda Waller, who would form Checkmate, or would also be the leader of the Suicide Squad film. We just got confirmation from James Gunn that Viola Davis will be returning as Amanda Waller. She is set in stone. As to how far they're going to take that character and what they do with her, we'll have to see. This is another book that you can find easily in the dollar bins, but now I think some comic book stores are starting to catch on and selling it at the high of like a $10 book. So some places you might still be able to find it in dollar bins. Luckily for me, I was able to, and I still see some shops doing it, and whenever I can, I pick it up. With the news that she's getting her own show, I believe they announced as well. I'm surprised it hasn't jumped, but I think it's all because of the DC letdowns that we've had. It's hard to get excited. So we'll have to see what happens with that book, but underrated, undervalued key. Another underrated, undervalued key. This is the new Flash, issue number 1. So this is the first appearance of Wally West as the Flash. Not only is it an underrated valued key as his first appearance, and another book that you can find in the dollar bins or easily for just a few bucks in high grade. I'm speculating a little bit on this book because the backlash we had with the Flash movie obviously wasn't well received. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm sure the Flash will be in the DCU. You have to have the Flash, but who knows if we're going to have the Barry Allen Flash, or maybe James might want to give some love to Wally West. So I feel like this is a spec book, and also a book, like I said, a first appearance key that you can find very easily, underrated, undervalued, and it's a really great cover. Some more Batman love, and I love this cover. Batman issue number 475 with Scarface in the Vanchillo class and the old Tommy gun. This is actually the first appearance of Renee Montana, and she would come on to be, I believe, the second Question. I believe they say that character right, but she's also known as an ally for Batman, and it's a great cover. Actually, this book is over $100, I believe, in a new, 9.8 slab. But raw, this thing maybe goes to $9 to $10 near me. Another easy book you can find, and I love that cover. I think the blue in the background just pops so well. So it was a great pickup and another underrated first appearance and key. Moving on, we're going to some older books. This is a really good one. This is Supergirl issue number 5 from her first solo ongoing series. And this is actually the origin of Zatanna. And then I believe it's issue 7, which I do have, is the first official team-up between Supergirl and Zatanna. Zatanna I am specting on. I think she's going to be a big player in the DCU. Hoping so anyway. I would love to see more love for that character on the big screen. But it's also the first ongoing series of Supergirl, another character we know is coming, and I can't wait. So, I think this is a good book. This you will not probably find in dollar bins unless it's beat up. But you can easily find a nice, mid-grade, between like $5 to probably $8, probably for a good price between like $15, $20. You could go up for a higher price near mint, but that's just me. I like a little bit of lower grade stuff, more affordable. Moving on, this next book, I have to include some Action Comics. Getting to have a lot of love for Superman after watching Smallville finally and completing the show. Action Comics issue number 544, and most of these books you guys have seen on the channel before, but Action Comics 544. This is the first appearance of Lex's War Suit armor, as you can see. And it's a Brainiac cover as well. I would imagine Lex's War Suit armor will, again, show up in the DCU. At some point, probably we'll see that. But I think it's a great, underrated key. It's also the 45th anniversary of Action Comics. So it's a great book in my opinion, and a great key, underrated. You can find that probably in the dollar bin as well. And the last book, another book I know you can find dollar bin because I find it quite so often, and I don't know why I don't pick it up more, but I should. This is Batman issue number 442, and it's the first Tim Drake as Robin. And I just love that Bat Signal cover, It's very great. If you look in the lower underneath, you can see Dick Grayson, you can see Alfred, and you can see Batman. But yeah, great cover. And like I said, Tim Drake as, first Tim Drake as Robin, a good issue. I think Tim Drake doesn't deserve enough, or doesn't get enough love and recognition, but he is a great Robin in my opinion. And if you watch the animated show, you grew up with Tim, and I did, and very happy to have this. And some of these books, I do actually own a few copies of each. But, like I said, these are books that are easily found in the dollar bins or for a few dollars more. You just gotta go for the right places and find them. And they're underrated. Like I said, every book here, in my opinion, is an underrated DC key. And I think this might be I might do a couple of these more videos. Obviously, I'm going to do a Marvel one. But, I can do multiple videos, I think, for both, because I feel like both DC and Marvel have very underrated keys that people just either don't know about or they just sleep on and they don't think it's a big deal. But I feel like some of these books are a big deal, at least to me anyway. So that's it for today's haul, guys. Well, today's video. Let me know what you thought about this video. If you like it, I'm gonna continue the series. I'm gonna at least do a Marvel one probably in the next week or two. And if it becomes a thing that people like, I'll continue on. I think it's really good to bring books to attention that deserve the love. But yeah, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe, please. I would really appreciate it. We just hit over 355 subscribers. It crept up on me. I was very surprised. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to hit that goal of 500 by the end of the year. We'll see. We're not too far off. So we'll see if we can hit that. I would really hope we can. I want to do a big giveaway for a 500 subscriber giveaway. And, yeah, leave a comment as well. Let me know what you thought about these books. I'm sure some of you guys have them. I think they're underrated keys as well. And, as always, stay safe, take care of each other, and we will see you on the next episode of Josh's Comics.